Good afternoon, everybody. How are you today? I hope you're doing really well. It's the middle of the week, so we've got through Monday and Tuesday. Now I just have Thursday and Friday left, so at least for the work week. So yay for us! But still, it's fun to come in. A quick reminder for any of you who do want to do Meals on Wheels in Berkeley. You still need to send in your vaccination records by the 15th. So far I've communicated out, and only one person in our group has actually got that in. I helped them with it, so I hope they know who they are. I'm not going to say their name during a YouTube video. But everybody else has not. So if you don't have that in by the 15th, then you are unable to volunteer at Meals on Wheels in Berkeley. So it's their mandate. They want to make sure that everybody's safe. They want to make sure that the seniors are safe and that everybody who comes into contact with everybody is safe, including the volunteers. And so, they're doing what they feel is best. So please get that in if it's something that you do want to do. Anywho, so for today I have a class. It's a news class, it's a news story. I don't know how many of you have ever done this. I didn't know it was a thing until, I don't know, till maybe late high school or after. But I've always liked it, so I thought I'd introduce you to it. But it is news. It's just sometimes news gets really, not so fun. And you got to remember that as long as there's all the stories about COVID, as long as there's all the stories about a lot of things that can be depressing and a lot of times serious and kind of stressful, that there are still news stories out there that are funny, that are either sometimes just funny, sometimes enlightening, sometimes just a nice break, from something strange. So there's a site, and it's real news. This is not like the Inquirer, which is that, tabloid fake, somebody gives birth to a werewolf news. This actually happens. It's verified. But it's called, and you can go to you can look it up online. It's called News of the Weird. And so it just has lots of different things that, actually even the HuffPost sometimes has them, but they're funny things. And so today we're going to go over one story in particular that I find pretty funny. And if you ever find another one and you want me to let everybody else know the funny story, please. Okay. So the title of this news article is "Nutty Squirrel Leaves 42 Gallons of Nuts in a Man's Chevy Avalanche." Now, if you know anything about squirrels, as the winter season comes, as it's coming now, they like to gather nuts to make sure that during the winter time when they hunker down, they have a place to do it. So Bill Fleischer said he found black walnuts in every nook and cranny of the truck, including the engine compartment and the fenders. So the squirrel in Fargo, North Dakota, is really nuts for walnuts, to the point it collected 42 gallons of the snack and stored them in a local man's Chevy Avalanche. Bill Fisher said he came home from a 4-day work trip earlier this month and discovered that his truck was filled with black walnuts, each thoroughly roughly the size of a lime. So they're good size. As his Facebook photos show, and I'll show you some, the walnuts were tucked into every nook and cranny of the Chevy, including the engine compartment and the fenders. Fisher removed enough to fill 7 6-gallon containers. That's a lot of walnuts, and that is one busy squirrel. He said, "I had to pull the fenders off and clean out all the walnuts, and that I had all of them, and took it down the road, turned the corner, and found one rolling down the windshield wipers, where the windshield wipers go." So, in order for it to actually be real, you have to have photo evidence. So Here's some photos. So he must have left his truck sitting for a while. So how many bushels can one red squirrel pick and store in 4 days? Can't look at how many 5-gallon buckets, and then add in the fenders and, well, so it's a lot. But there's his truck. And, I mean, look how many buckets there are, just, but all through the engine compartment. And what I feel bad about, well, I'll tell you after. So as nutty as this might seem, it's not the first time this has happened. Fisher said red squirrels have been using his truck to store walnuts from his neighbor's tree every 2 years, the tree's maturation cycle, since 2013. He said, I've got other vehicles that sit very close to that tree, and it's always my truck. I've even parked purposely out on the street as far as I can from the walnut tree, and they still go to find the Avalanche and hide in there. Something about that truck just looks like it's perfect for walnuts. Over the years, Fisher has learned how to deal with this squirrely behavior. He knows when the walnuts fall off of the tree, and it's time to check the engine. He's also learned to wait until there are no walnuts left lying under the tree before commencing his cleanup. The squirrel will sit in the tree and watch me clean up the walnuts, almost like, that's fine, buddy. As he's watching me clean up his winter storage, Fisher told the Post. Still, he wasn't prepared for just how many nuts would be squirreled away this year. That's a lot. Fisher, who had to remove fenders from the truck to extract some of the nuts, which he is now offering to any human who wants them, much to the chagrin of the squirrel. He'll throw away any that aren't claimed, he added, but the squirrel's cash won't be completely gone. He says, I have some rolling around the frame, rails, wells as well, that I can't get at, Fisher told the Grand Forks Herald. So yeah, so this is him taking apart his truck. So he had to take apart, like the entire fender and remove everything in order to get him. But I do feel bad for the squirrels. That's what I was going to say earlier. I mean, they really were diligent in their work. They made sure that, they collected for the winter, and now the guy's just going to throw away their bounty. I mean, how are these squirrels going to survive? Maybe he shouldn't have ever... Well, I don't want to blame the human who's, having other people use the property, but still, they did a very good job, and I wish there was a way they could kind of figure out how to make sure that the squirrels could keep all those nuts and walnuts and I don't know, survive during the winter because they're cute little squirrels. I hate to think of them starving. Anyway, that has been News of the Weird for Wednesday. Alright, so like I said, I hope you enjoyed that story. I hope that never happens to you or the squirrels around your house, because then they're going to starve. But also, please make sure, if you need any help with the whole getting your vaccination records in so you can volunteer at Meals on Wheels, let me know and I will help as much as I possibly can. So, anyway, ciao for now.